What if I told you that somewhere right now, thousands of players are preparing for a new journey? Not a journey where everything is handed to them, not a journey where success comes easily, but a journey where power must be earned, alliances must be built, and every decision can change your future. That journey is called R.O.H.A.N.2, and today we're exploring why so many players are paying attention to this next chapter in the ROHAN universe. Imagine entering a world filled with ancient conflicts, a world where powerful races battle for dominance, a world where every player starts with the same question: how far can I go? Some players will focus on becoming stronger warriors, others will chase rare rewards, some will master the economy, and some will attempt to dominate entire regions alongside their allies. The beauty of R.O.H.A.N.2 is that there isn't just one path. Your story becomes whatever you decide to make it. But before any adventure begins, players must make their first major choice, choosing a race. And one race stands above the rest when it comes to reputation, style, and identity: the Dark Elf. For years, Dark Elves have been among the most recognizable races in the ROHAN universe. The moment you see one on the battlefield, you understand why. They're fearless, they're aggressive, and they thrive in situations where others hesitate. Dark Elf players aren't known for waiting around, they're known for creating opportunities, for taking risks, for pushing forward when everyone else backs away. And because of that, many players see the Dark Elf as more than just a race. They see it as a mindset, a symbol of confidence and ambition. For newcomers, it's an exciting introduction to the game. For veterans, it's a return to something familiar and legendary. But choosing your race is only the beginning, because R.O.H.A.N.2 is built around progression. Every battle, every challenge, every victory moves your character one step closer to becoming something greater. And this is where one of the game's most interesting systems enters the conversation: Liom. At first glance, some players might overlook it, but experienced players understand something important. The strongest advantages often come from understanding systems that others ignore. Liom introduces additional layers of progression and strategy. It rewards players who take time to learn, players who study mechanics, players who think ahead. In many MMORPGs, progression is simply about playing longer. In R.O.H.A.N.2, progression is also about playing smarter. And that's what makes the journey interesting. Knowledge becomes power, strategy becomes power, experience becomes power. As players continue exploring Liom, new tactics and discoveries will emerge. And those discoveries could become the difference between average players and elite players. Now let's talk about something that separates R.O.H.A.N.2 from many traditional MMORPGs: the economy. For decades, gamers have invested enormous amounts of time into virtual worlds, hours of grinding, hours of farming, hours of progression, but often, all of that effort remained trapped inside the game itself. R.O.H.A.N.2 introduces RUBYx, a tradable game token designed to connect player activity with the broader cross-ecosystem. Now, if you're already familiar with Web3 gaming, you'll immediately understand why this matters. But even if you're completely new to blockchain gaming, the concept is simple. RUBYx creates an ecosystem where player participation has additional utility beyond traditional gameplay. The more you understand the game, the better you can navigate its opportunities. And that's where things become exciting, because every player approaches the economy differently. Some players focus on progression, some focus on trading, some focus on long-term accumulation, and others combine all three. The result is a living ecosystem shaped by real player decisions. But let's be honest, no economy matters if the gameplay isn't fun. And this is where R.O.H.A.N.2 faces its biggest challenge. Can it deliver an MMORPG experience players genuinely enjoy? From what we've seen, the answer appears to be yes. Combat feels impactful, character growth feels rewarding, the world encourages exploration, and progression consistently gives players new goals to pursue. There's always another level, another challenge, another upgrade, another objective waiting around the corner. That constant sense of forward momentum is what MMORPG players love, and R.O.H.A.N.2 understands that. It doesn't rush players to the finish line. It gives them reasons to enjoy the journey. Now let's discuss one of the most important topics for players looking to maximize their experience: reward farming. Every MMORPG eventually creates two types of players: the players who simply play, and the players who optimize. The second group studies systems, tracks efficiency, tests strategies, and looks for every possible advantage. Reward farming sits at the center of that mindset. The goal isn't simply to spend more time playing, the goal is to make every minute count. Efficient farming routes, smart resource management, understanding progression systems. All of these factors contribute to long-term success. And for players interested in RUBYx, farming becomes even more important because knowledge and efficiency can directly influence results. The most successful players won't necessarily be the strongest on day one. They'll be the players who consistently make smart decisions over time. And that's a lesson that applies far beyond gaming. So what does all of this mean for someone considering R.O.H.A.N.2? It means entering a world filled with possibilities. A world where dark elves can carve their own legends, where Liom rewards strategic thinking, where RUBYx creates new opportunities, where gameplay remains at the center of the experience, and where reward farming can transform dedication into meaningful progress. The Vengeance era isn't just another update, it's the beginning of a new chapter. New battles are waiting, new alliances are forming, new opportunities are emerging every day. And somewhere out there, future legends are preparing to begin their journey. The only question left is this: when the history of R.O.H.A.N.2 is written, will your name be part of the story?